The crimson sun bled across the jagged horizon, painting the skeletal remains of skyscrapers in hues of rust and despair. It was a landscape Elias knew intimately, a canvas etched with the scars of the Great Scorch, a war that had ended centuries ago but whose echoes still reverberated in the dust-choked air. Elias was a Scorchborn, one of the few who remembered the world before, a relic of a bygone era burdened with the memories of fire and loss. He carried those memories like a phantom limb, an ever-present ache that fueled his determination to protect the fragile spark of civilization that they called themselves the Whispers, a fitting name for a group forced to operate in the shadows, constantly evading the iron grip of the Citadel, the tyrannical stronghold ruled by the enigmatic and ruthless Overseer. Elias, despite his age, an age no one could truly pinpoint, possessed a strength and resilience that belied his weathered appearance. Centuries of survival had honed his senses, sharpened his instincts, and granted him an uncanny ability to anticipate danger. He was their protector, their provider, their shepherd in this desolate wasteland. She was Elias's apprentice, his confidant, and the closest thing he had to family. He saw in her a flicker of the old world's hope, a spark that he desperately wanted to shield from the encroaching darkness. Their sanctuary was a network of abandoned subway tunnels beneath the ruins, a labyrinthine world of echoing footsteps and flickering makeshift lights. It was here, amidst the ghosts of the past, that Elias discovered an ancient map etched onto a fragment of pre-scorched metal. The map spoke of a hidden temple, a repository of knowledge and technology from before the war, a place rumored to hold the key to restoring the world. The Citadel had informants everywhere, and the temple was likely guarded by automated defenses, remnants of a long-dormant military infrastructure. The journey would be perilous, but the potential reward? The chance to rebuild, to heal the scars of the scorch, was too great to ignore. "Are you sure about this, Elias?" Mara asked, her voice barely a whisper against the hum of the makeshift generator. They were huddled around a table, the metal map illuminated by the flickering light. "The Citadel's patrols have intensified lately." ... Elias traced the map with a calloused finger. "We have to try, Mara. This could be our chance to change things, to give our people a future. We can't keep hiding in the shadows forever." He assembled a small team, carefully selecting those he trusted most. Besides Mara, there was Kai, a gruff but loyal mechanic who kept their scavenged vehicles running, and Lena, a skilled medic with a gentle touch and a fierce determination. They were ready as they could be, for the journey ahead. The journey to the temple was fraught with danger. Elias's knowledge of the old world proved invaluable, allowing them to bypass ancient security systems and decipher cryptic warnings. He led them through crumbling highways, across desolate plains, and over mountains of debris, always one step ahead of the Citadel's relentless pursuit. Finally, after weeks of relentless travel, they reached their destination, a hidden valley shrouded in mist, where the ancient temple stood, a silent sentinel against the ravaged landscape. It was a colossal structure built from a metal alloy Elias had never seen before, its surface covered in intricate carvings that seemed to writhe and shift in the dim light. "This is it," Elias said, his voice filled with awe and anticipation, "the Temple of the Ancients." Kai managed to bypass the door's security system, and with a grinding groan, the massive portal swung open, revealing a vast, cavernous chamber. Inside, holographic displays flickered with fragmented images of a world long gone, and rows of dormant machines hummed with latent energy. The air thrummed with a palpable sense of power, a testament to the advanced technology that had once thrived within these walls. It was the key to rebuilding their world, the answer to their prayers. But there was a catch. The Genesis engine required a unique energy source, a specific type of biosignature that could only be obtained by sacrificing a life force intimately connected to the machine's creators. The Temple AI, a disembodied voice that echoed through the chambers, revealed the truth. To activate the Genesis engine, they would have to sacrifice someone with a direct genetic link to the ancients, the people who had built the temple. He knew what this meant, Mara. He had always suspected that she was different, that there was something special about her. Now he understood. She was a descendant of the ancients, the key to unlocking the temple's power. The AI offered a chilling proposition. It could identify Mara and initiate the sacrifice. Elias could then walk away with the promise of a revitalized world. But he couldn't bring himself to do it. He had sworn to protect her, to guide her, to be her father figure. How could he betray her trust, condemn her to such a fate? He kept the truth from Mara and the others, knowing that revealing it would shatter their hope and divide their loyalty. There was no other way. The Citadel, sensing the activation of the temple's energy signature, launched a full-scale assault. Overseer's forces descended upon the valley, determined to seize the Genesis engine and harness its power for their own nefarious purposes. Elias knew that time was running out. He had to make a choice, a terrible, agonizing choice that would determine the fate of his people. He confronted Mara, his voice heavy with sorrow, his eyes filled with unshed tears. He revealed the truth about her heritage, about the Genesis engine, about the sacrifice. The reality of her situation crashed down upon her, shattering her world, but amidst the shock and despair, a flicker of understanding began to dawn. "You would have sacrificed me," she said, her voice barely audible. "You would have let them kill me, to save everyone else." Elias closed his eyes, unable to meet her gaze. "I tried to find another way, Mara. I swear I did, but there is no other way. You're the only one who can activate the Genesis engine. You're the only one who can save us all." "And what about me?" she asked, her voice rising in anger. "But the lives of everyone else matter too. This isn't just about you. It's about the future of our people, the future of our world." Mara looked at Elias, her eyes searching his. She saw the pain in his face, the burden he carried, the weight of responsibility that pressed down upon him. She saw the love he had for her, a love that made this decision all the more difficult. "I understand," she said, her voice softening. "I understand what you have to do." She turned to Kai and Lena, who had been listening in stunned silence. "Do it now. Don't let the Citadel take it." Kai and Lena hesitated, their faces etched with grief and disbelief. They couldn't believe that Mara was willing to sacrifice herself, that Elias was willing to let her. "Do it!" Mara shouted, her voice filled with urgency. "There's no time to argue, just do it!" With trembling hands, Kai and Lena began to input the activation sequence, their fingers flying across the ancient console. The Genesis engine began to hum, its energy building, its power surging. Elias stood his ground, wielding his scavenged rifle, determined to buy them time. He fought with the ferocity of a cornered animal, taking down enemy soldiers left and right, but they were too many. He was outnumbered, outgunned, and exhausted. As the Genesis engine reached its peak energy level, Mara stepped forward, her face serene, her eyes filled with acceptance. She walked towards the machine, her body glowing with an ethereal light. She was ready to embrace her destiny, to become the sacrifice that would save her people. He collapsed to the ground, his body riddled with bullets. He watched as Mara touched the machine, her form dissolving into pure energy, her essence becoming one with the Genesis engine. A blinding light filled the chamber, followed by a deafening roar. The Genesis engine unleashed its power, purifying the air, cleansing the land, revitalizing the world. The Citadel forces were swept away by the energy wave, their weapons melted, their armor disintegrated. When the light faded, the chamber was silent. But Mara was gone too, her sacrifice complete. Elias lay on the ground, his lifeblood seeping into the ancient stone. He looked up at the sky, now a clear, vibrant blue, a color he hadn't seen in centuries. He smiled, knowing that Mara's sacrifice had not been in vain. She had saved them all. He closed his eyes, his memories flooding back, his heart filled with love and sorrow. He saw Mara's face, her smile, her laughter. He heard her voice, her words of encouragement, her unwavering faith in him. He died knowing that he had done everything he could, that he had protected his people, that he had honored Mara's sacrifice. Kai and Lena, the only survivors besides Elias who had witnessed the events inside the Temple of Ancients, emerged from the temple days later, battered and bruised but carrying the seed of hope. The Genesis engine had done its work. Patches of green began to sprout across the wasteland. The air was cleaner, the water purer, but the cost, the unbearable cost, remained etched in their hearts. They told the story of Mara's sacrifice to the Whispers, to everyone who would listen. Her name became a legend, a symbol of hope and selflessness. And Elias, the old warrior, the protector, the betrayer, would be remembered as the man who made the impossible choice, the man who sacrificed everything for the future. The scars of the scorch would remain, a reminder of the past. But now, there was a chance to heal, to rebuild, to create a better world, and it was all thanks to the courage and sacrifice of one extraordinary girl and the man who loved her enough to let her go. The world had been reborn, bought with the ultimate price. The future, though uncertain, was finally filled with hope, a testament to the enduring power of love, sacrifice, and the will to survive.